Ever wonder how the most focused, high-performing people on the planet actually rest? Not what they say on podcasts, not what gets clipped for a quote card on Instagram. The real thing, the kind they actually rely on, but never break down. It doesn't look like what we've been taught. And once you experience it, your entire approach to recovery changes. If your brain feels foggy, disconnected, or just a little off, it's probably not your sleep. It's your system. This video isn't about slowing down. It's about taking control. Because if you don't change how you rest, your energy won't come back, no matter how much sleep you get. We'll break down how top performers use rest to sharpen focus, move faster, and stay grounded under pressure. Because when you get this right, rest doesn't pull you off course. It puts you back in charge. And what comes next is the real unlock. If you treat rest like a reward, you're already behind. Most people wait until they're drained, scattered, and can't think straight. Then they collapse and call it recovery. But that's not rest, that's repair. People like Tim Ferriss or Arianna Huffington treat rest like fuel, not escape. They insert mini resets before they need them. Cold water, stillness, silence, built in, automatic. Here's how to bake it in. Pick something that already happens every day, like ending a call, getting a notification, or walking through a door. Then anchor a micro reset to it. 10 seconds, eyes closed, shoulders down, breathe. That's not a habit, that's a nervous system shortcut. And once it's embedded, recovery happens in real time. But calming your body is only half the story, because even if your body resets, your mind might still be stuck on static. And that's where most people fall short. Mental fatigue doesn't mean you need a nap. It means you need space. Oprah starts her mornings in silence. Steve Jobs cleared space on purpose, so his best ideas had room to land. They weren't escaping. They were sharpening. Most people confuse distraction with recovery. They scroll, snack, distract, but never fully reset. Here's a sharper move. Set a 20-minute slow zone in your day. No noise, no speed, no tabs. Let the boredom show up. That's where clarity breathes. Stillness isn't downtime. It's where your best thinking starts to surface. And once your mind slows, that's when things begin to click in ways most people never reach. You've been taught that stopping means falling behind. That slowing down is a sign of weakness. But the top 1% pause because they understand pressure, not because they're afraid of it. Ray Dalio built one of the most intense firms on the planet. And his go-to clarity tool, transcendental meditation. Not because it's trendy, because it works like armor. He treats stillness as a daily decision, so he can hear through the noise and move with precision. Here's how to build that reflex. Pick one object, a hoodie, a chair, a playlist, and turn it into a trigger. When that cue shows up, you shift gears. Not later, not if you have time, now. You're not opting out, you're taking control, even when the pressure hits. And once you can do that on command, rest stops being a break. It becomes a switch. One that lets you reset your mind, reclaim clarity, and stop letting pressure run the show. Top performers don't wait until they're burnt out. They reset before things spiral. They don't rest to escape, they rest to recalibrate. They build space into their day, not to slow down, but to stay sharp. Stillness isn't weakness, it's strategic. And when you start using rest this way, you don't fall behind. You show up clearer, faster, and more in control. You stop reacting to exhaustion and start choosing how you show up, because when rest becomes intentional, everything else starts running smoother. And this is just one piece of the equation, because the deeper shift is this: how you see time itself, not as something you spend, but something you own. You've seen how the top 1% reset, but that's just how they pause. What happens when they hit play again? That's where things really shift. It's not louder, it's not faster, but once you spot it, you'll start to see why they move differently than everyone else. And it's not because they work harder, it's because of something most people never question. But it shapes everything. We break it down in the next video, how the top 1% actually manage their time. Watch it and you'll never look at your schedule the same way again.